Another impressive building with Romanesque revival arches here at Washington and Willoughby on the northeast corner. This is 320 Washington Avenue, north of Lafayette Avenue, and I believe this is built in the 1860s, maybe 1870s, and it still has the name that it went by originally, the Graham Home for Old Ladies, 1851. This house has really been fixed up. It's at 78 Herkimer. It's pre-1880 Queen Anne. Former T.P. Wilkinson or Wilkerson House. Former Irving Club House. Former Invincible Hall of the Republican Club. It was designed by maybe Amzie Hill or Henry Hill. And it was really in bad shape, and it was brought back, and I don't know how many millions it's worth now, but it's one of the freestanding mansions here on Herkimer Street, right down the street from the former Shriners Temple, and really a mixture of new and old housing here on Herkimer between Fulton and Atlantic. Check out this church at 92 Herkimer Street between Bedford and Nostrand Avenue. Friendship Baptist Church. What a building. It's so typical of Brooklyn. You go down one street and you look down and you see something like this down the street. You have to check it out. I'll try to find out more about this one. I don't know the name of the architect, but this row of townhouses is really Brooklyn School on Herkimer Street, from like 147 down, increasing to like maybe 159, 161. But this whole block is interesting. Herkimer Street, Bed-Stuy, east of Nostrand Avenue. This is the next street over from Hancock Jefferson Avenue, and it is just fantastic looking too. All these streets here in Bed-Stuy, the amount of beautiful housing stock is just amazing. So I'm headed north on Marcy Avenue to see one of the first high schools that was built in Brooklyn. The first one of all of them was Girls High School on Nostrand Avenue, which actually is across the street from the Alhambra Apartments, which is a Montrose Morris designed apartment building. And then this is Boys High School here on Marcy Avenue at Putnam Avenue. And like Girls High School, it's behind scaffolding, but you can see more of it. And the architect was James Naughton, architect in charge for all the Brooklyn schools in the 1870s, 1880s. So we'll see what we can see as best as we can through the scaffolding. But it looks like a beautiful Romanesque style building with towers. So we'll have to come back here in a couple of years when they're all done with the renovations.
Putnam Avenue. Walking along the south side of Boys High School. There's several high schools that are really undergoing a renovation. Brooklyn Tech in Fort Greene is another one that's been behind scaffolding for years now. I do hear work going on, so it's not like it's inactive. They now call it Brooklyn Academy High School. But it is immense. Beautiful. So James Naughton, 1880s, one of his contributions to the Brooklyn School of Architecture. I just wanted to record while I'm walking down McDonough Street. And there's a really impressive church. Our Lady of Victory Church. And these apartment buildings are impressive. So I'm walking west on McDonough from Decatur, from Throop Avenue to, well, we'll see when we get to the end of the block. But I don't have any houses designed by any of the Brooklyn School architects on this street. That doesn't mean there aren't any. But it's a beautiful street. And I keep crossing it, but I don't have any houses that I'm shooting for on this street.
Yeah.
I think I once read like an advertisement from back in the day saying that this was one of the streets you wanted to live on. And look at these three houses here. It's triplet. Taller than the rest of the brownstones. Really good size. And then here's a little mansion. Maybe a couple of them. Single family detached houses. Queen Anne style. Typical row of brownstones here. On the south side of the street, we're looking on the north side now. So this second house, it says it's the Eastern District Grand Tent. Grand United Order of Tents of Brooklyn. So some kind of group in the 1800s, early 1900s. And it looks boarded up, so there's another one if you want to bring this one back to life. It'd be pretty neat. It's got a yard, some big trees. And this is the Raleigh apartment building here. There was another apartment building I saw, the Roanoke. So there's apartment buildings named after different North Carolina cities. So here we are at Tompkins Avenue. As we've walked west, and there's a couple of big churches. Stuyvesant Heights Christian Church, and this one with the beautiful huge bell tower with the clock that tells the correct time. It is 8:15 in the morning. First AME Zion Church. And that's Fulton Street down there with some brand new apartment buildings. So that's one block of McDonough here in Bed-Stuy. in early February 2021.